In a frosty mountain village where the snow never melted and the air smelled of pine and adventure, there lived a mischievous boy named Icicle. Icicle had a special gift. He could freeze anything he touched. While this talent brought him plenty of fun, it also caused problems. He froze sleds, snowmen, and even the town fountain. But Icicle's life changed forever one magical winter night when he met the Winter Fairy and discovered the true power of his icy touch. It was another snowy morning in the village of Frostvale, and Icicle was up to his usual tricks. "Icicle, did you freeze my skis again?" shouted his sister Marnie. Icicle giggled as Marnie tried to chip the ice off her skis. "It's just a little frost," he said innocently. But Marnie wasn't amused. "One day, your freezing powers are going to get you into real trouble." Frostvale was bustling with preparations for the annual winter festival. Icicle loved the festival, but his freezing powers often caused chaos. "Stay away from the ice sculptures this year," warned Mr. Frost, the village elder. "We don't want them shattering like last time." Icicle nodded, though he secretly thought about how fun it was to see the sculptures break into sparkling shards. While playing near the town square, Icicle tripped and accidentally touched the massive snowflake centerpiece meant for the festival. Crack! The snowflake froze solid, its delicate details encased in a block of ice. The villagers gasped. "Icicle!" Marnie shouted. "What have you done?" "I didn't mean to," Icicle stammered. Chapter 4. The Arrival of the Winter Fairy. That night, Icicle sat alone in his room, feeling ashamed. Suddenly, a soft glow filled the room, and a tiny, shimmering figure appeared. "Who are you?" Icicle asked, wide-eyed. "I am Alara, the Winter Fairy," she said, her wings glistening like frost on a window pane. "I've come to help you understand your gift." "Gift?" Icicle scoffed. "It feels more like a curse." Alara smiled. "Every gift has a purpose. You just need to find yours." Chapter 5. The Frozen Lake Lesson. Alara took Icicle to the village's frozen lake. "Touch the ice," she instructed. Icicle hesitated, then placed his hand on the surface. The ice began to glow, forming intricate patterns that sparkled under the moonlight. "Wow!" Icicle exclaimed. "See?" Alara said. "Your touch can create beauty." Chapter 6. The Power of Control. Alara began teaching Icicle how to control his freezing powers. "Focus on what you want to create," she said. At first, Icicle struggled. His attempts to form shapes ended in jagged lumps of ice, but with practice, he created a small, perfect snowflake. "You're learning," Alara cheered. Chapter 7. Trouble in Frostvale. The next morning, the villagers discovered that the river feeding their town's water supply had frozen solid. "It's Icicle's doing again," someone shouted. Icicle ran to the river, but this time he wasn't the culprit. "I didn't do this," he said. Alara appeared beside him. "The river has been frozen by a greater force. It's up to us to fix it." Chapter 8. The journey begins. Alara explained that the freeze was caused by an ancient spell deep in the frostpine forest. "You must undo the spell," she said. "Your powers are the key." Icicle gulped. "Me? Why me?" "Because you have the gift of ice," Alara replied, "and the courage to use it." Chapter 9. The Frostpine Forest. Icicle and Alara entered the frostpine forest, where the trees glittered with icicles. The air was colder, and the silence was eerie. "Stay close," Alara warned. "This forest is full of surprises." Suddenly, a pack of frost wolves appeared, their eyes glowing blue. Icicle froze in fear. Chapter 10. The First Test. Alara nudged Icicle. "Remember what I taught you." Icicle focused on the ground beneath the wolves, creating a slick patch of ice. The wolves slid and tumbled, giving Icicle and Alara time to escape. "You did it," Alara said. Icicle grinned. "Maybe I'm getting the hang of this." Chapter 11. The Ice Guardian. Deeper in the forest, they encountered an ice guardian, a towering figure made of frost and snow. "You shall not pass," it boomed. Icicle stepped forward. "We mean no harm. We just want to help our village." The guardian studied him. "Prove your worth," it said, pointing to a block of ice containing a frozen flower. Using his powers, Icicle gently thawed the ice without damaging the flower. The guardian nodded and stepped aside. Chapter 12. The Frozen Spell. At the heart of the forest, they found an ancient ice crystal glowing ominously. "This is the source of the freeze," Alara said. "You must use your powers to break it." Icicle hesitated. "What if I make it worse?" "Believe in yourself," Alara urged. Chapter 13. The Final Challenge. Icicle focused all his energy on the crystal, imagining it shattering into harmless snowflakes. His hands glowed as his icy touch spread across the crystal. Crack! The crystal shattered, releasing a wave of warmth that melted the frozen river. "You did it," Alara said. Chapter 14. A Hero's Return. Icicle and Alara returned to Frostvale, where the villagers cheered. "Icicle saved us," Marnie said proudly. Icicle blushed. "I just wanted to make things right." Chapter 15. The Winter Festival. The Winter Festival went off without a hitch, and Icicle used his powers to create dazzling ice sculptures that amazed everyone. "I guess my freezing touch isn't so bad after all," he said, winking at Marnie. Chapter 16. A Gift of Magic. Before leaving, Alara gave Icicle a small crystal. "This will remind you of your journey," she said. Icicle hugged her. "Thank you for teaching me." As Alara disappeared into the night, Icicle looked at the glowing sky and whispered, "I'll use my gift wisely." And from that day on, Icicle's touch brought beauty and joy to Frostvale, proving that even the most misunderstood talents can shine.